AdamHarry back again with another very special guest.
I'm StableAbe.
And we're taking a look at Star Trek Ascendancy.
Woo!
So this is a game we actually picked up at Gen Con 2016.
Right.
It's from Gale Force 9. It's a fully licensed product for Star Trek. Ages 14 and up, 3+ players. I say plus because there's expansions. In here, there's only 3, enough for 3 players, but
And it really needs 3 players.
you really need, it's more fun, I think. Here's the back of the box, obviously. It's a really cool game. I saw the demo of it, and I would say that it's very similar to like a game of Twilight Imperium,
but you can actually finish it.
Bingo, bingo. So 3 players, it's about an hour per player. So you're actually going to be able to finish the game. So that's a nice thing.
And the big difference, we might get into this later, is really how easy setup is.
Oh yeah,
This game is really easy to set up. It doesn't have like an hour or 2 of setup like unfortunately Twilight Imperium, which I love.
I do love that game.
I've got multiple copies of every edition, basically. But I don't think in the... Man, I've probably been playing that game for close to like 15 years now, and I've never finished a game of it.
No, I'm with you. I try to get like, that one game a year.
Yeah.
To actually try to finish it, and it ends up breaking down like 2 weekends.
Anyway,
long story short, this is actually a really fun, quicker version. It's got a really unique board layout, which I want to show off. It's very cool. It doesn't look like a board. That's what's cool about it.
Right.
And then this actually has 3 different factions. We've got the Federation, obviously. We've got the Romulans and the Klingons, and they're color coded. And what's neat too is each faction actually does feel unique.
Yeah.
So it's not like these are just the red guys and these are just the blue guys.
And you've got unique ship models for every faction and everything.
Yep.
So if you've seen any of our Retro Corner stuff where me and Big Red Larry looked at the
I know one of them's at least out
the
right
blueprints,
now,
or some of them are coming out. You might recognize some of this. Though I think this is set more.
This
in
is
next
gen.
generation.
Yeah, this is definitely more next gen. So, anyway, that said, we're gonna pause and take the plastic wrap off, and then we're gonna go dive into Star Trek Ascendancy. All right, here we go. The box did get a little banged up in transportation. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
Yeah. This is a beautiful box. I like the artwork too because we're seeing a lot of stuff from next gen. There's actually some other art from the original series. Actually.
Yeah. You can see kind of you got
Kirk there.
You got all your.
Wait,
captains.
quick, favorite captain.
Ooh,
I see the gears.
I don't know a lot about Star Trek, but
what?
Yeah.
Your favorite captain? Come on, Cisco, Kirk, Picard,
Janeway.
Janeway's your favorite captain?
I think that's only because Voyager was on air when I was growing up. It was the only one that was on air, so that's probably the only one I've actually seen episodes that were aired as they came out.
My favorite captain, Cisco, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. I don't care what anybody says. He was the best. So.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't have a vested interest in it.
That's true. I know somebody in the comments is gonna.
Someone's gonna flip out.
Cisco's the best. I don't care what you say. You can take all your empirical evidence and be like Picard. Picard was awesome. Kirk was fighty. That's cool. But Cisco's my boy. So plus he punched Q in the face.
Kirk's the worst. We all know that.
Well, he's kind of a terrible captain. But that's beside the point. He banged a lot of enemies. Anyway,
this is obviously also set in the Prime universe, not the alternate J.J. Abrams universe.
Correct.
Or I think they call it the Kelvin universe now.
Kelvin, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a little thing. If you buy the game, apparently you get some thing for Star Trek Online, the game.
Cool.
There's actually a code on the back. I'm not going to show you because I might actually download that. Right. This is coming out with the game as well in the fall. This game's not completely out yet, so... again, we got it Gen Con early, but they're going to add the Ferengi and then the Cardassians as well. So they actually work up to 5 players.
Yeah, and I love how they've got so each race has its own race card. I actually love how they're not just like the stuff on it's different, but the look is different.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the this is the Ferengi, right?
This is the Cardassians.
The Cardassians. If you look at the Cardassian one, it's kind of like
it's completely different from the Ferengi. Whoop! It just fell. But they are completely unique. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you can see how
the colors are unique.
The colors,
the dials
the shape,
are unique.
Yeah, it almost looks like a pod racer.
The ships are different, and that's completely different from the Cardassians. You can see there.
Yeah.
So they each have their different stats. They also have their own unique advantages and disadvantages for each race. So
they're going to come out with the release, I believe.
Pretty close
right
to
around then.
Yeah, right around the same time.
So if you're worried because you're like, 4 or 5 players, this is only a 3-player game.
It's really not.
It's really not.
The other cool thing about it is there's really no cutoff for the number of players, and they were talking. Eventually, they want to have like pretty much every race represented.
Right.
So you can even get up to like 10, 15, I don't know if it's 15, but like
fair number of them.
Yeah, the number of players actually scales with each expansion pack.
Right.
Here's the rule book. We're going to take a deeper dive into this later. We're not going to go over how to play, but I do want to show it off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 28 pages of rules. So,
and, I mean, as this is
that's
a fully licensed,
big
so you're gonna get a lot of pictures from the shows and stuff. So. Interesting if you look at this as opposed to a lot of other licensed games. They use a lot of pictures from the shows and frames rather than unique artwork.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting. You got all the curve.
Yep.
Type 3 phaser.
They have a lot of pictures in here, but we'll get into all
Right.
that. Here are some of the tokens. There's a couple of sheets of tokens.
There's 188 tokens.
Needs more tokens, I feel. I feel
Yeah.
like they skimped out. I'm just kidding. Front and back, obviously.
FFG, good quality stuff as usual.
Yeah.
Or sorry, FFG, sorry.
Gale Force 9, but
9,
it's an FFG level of token.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
an
where Abe was
FFG,
going
it's an
at.
FFG level token. And Gale Force 9 obviously has a long history of producing excellent add-ons, tokens, all those kind of things.
So these are actually warplanes.
Right.
And those are actually used for space travel, obviously, but also the distances and stuff like that. And then they do this really cool thing with the board's actually modular. So we'll get into that a little bit later.
You kind of build it as you go along, as you explore down different warplanes.
Absolutely. Those
You've got a lot of warplanes.
You got to have a lot of them. So
so most of this is actually warplanes. You've only got one sheet of real tokens.
Yep. These are the player cards. So just to compare, if you want to grab the Cleon one.
Yeah.
So you've got the 3 different styles right now. We've got the Federation right here, Cleon, Romulan. Again, these are all the base races, I guess.
Right.
In the game, they're one-sided.
They're one-sided.
But you really only need the one side, and
Yeah.
it goes through the different things real quick. For instance, the Federation one here has the Prime Directive as a special thing. Explore Strange New Worlds is the second one. Prime Directive affects the Federation. The Federation may never invade planets or colonize pre-warp inhabited systems. So that can be beneficial or detrimental.
Yeah.
Explore Strange New Worlds. Take one culture when you draw a civilization exploration card or discover a new phenomenon. So that's how they get civilization points. And then all that stuff there too.
And these, I think, are actually your technology.
Yeah, you can upgrade.
You've got sliders that basically, as you pay more into it, you can upgrade your weapons or your shields on your ships. So that's kind of a thing that everyone has.
Yep.
You notice that these are, they're unique looks. They're not quite maybe as unique as the expansion ones, but
yeah, but I mean,
they're still different.
They're very. They fit the theme of their empires. They represent their empires really well. The Federation's got that standard, like, whatever those bars were and all the terminal. I don't know what they were, but they were there. And then the Romulans is kind of angular and sharp looking.
Yep.
Kind of, it actually looks a little bit like a bird in that regard. The Cleon's very jagged and
it's got a lot of. I assume that's the actual translation of these things in Cleon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But their special abilities, for instance, Cleon's Death Before Dishonor and Ever Victorious. Death Before Dishonor, Cleans may never retreat or surrender a planet, so they're going to fight you. And then Ever Victorious, take one culture when you defeat 3 or more ships in battle. So they are the warlike ones, shockingly enough. Yeah. Romulan, Suspicious, and Cultural Superiority. Suspicious. Whenever you receive a trade agreement, exhaust it immediately, refresh it in the next round's upkeep as normal. So it's kind of neat. I don't know what that does, but it probably gets you income pretty quickly, or it may delay income until the next round. I'm not sure. Cultural Superiority, take one culture when you complete an advancement or advancement picture in a culture token. So you get an extra culture whenever you complete a.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I think these are the resources in the game down here at the bottom.
Yep.
It's
probably dilithium, research, and then
there's
culture.
There's research, culture, and production.
Okay.
So I guess that's probably production.
Well, I'm saying it's probably dilithium crystals.
Right, which is probably production, research, and culture. I would guess is what that represents. And you'll see that used later on.
Yep. We've got a couple of different decks here, which I'm going to hand these to Abe real quick to open up. We'll take a look at those. And we've got, these are probably cheat sheet cards, and then trade agreements. We'll let Abe open those up too. These are the planets.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Whoa, that's a lot of planets that come out here.
If you play Twilight Imperium, this is kind of a similar thing to that, where each planet is its own little card. Circles instead of hexes like in Twilight Imperium, but.
And the reason for that is actually for the warplanes.
Right.
You use the warplanes to connect planets, and then those can actually shift Matter of fact, Abe, can you break out a warplane or two for me so I can show folks at home what I'm talking about here? I'm just going to move this up real quick. So if you play the Federation, you're going to start with Earth. If you play Klingons, you're going to start on Kronos, Romulans, obviously. So those are the home planets. I'm going to move this to the side. Okay, so we have Earth here. It's got culture, research, production, all that stuff. United Federation planet home systems. Has a number here. I believe that number is how many warplanes can be attached to this system.
Okay.
So here's a warplane. Here's a warplane. When you first go exploring, you say, I'm going to go explore, and let's say you come across this place first. Boom. So it's got some different stuff on there. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. The board actually rotates. So if you have the Klingons are nearby, this doesn't become locked in position until it physically becomes locked. So until this happens, now it's locked. It won't move around. And there's a special thing in the board setup section that talks about that. So theoretically, if you wanted to go here and then jump to another system here, and then wanted to open up a warplane, you have to roll to succeed to do this. You can also open up a warplane. Can you give me one more warplane?
Yeah.
I'll show you what we're talking about. These systems don't become locked until you complete like this type of a warplane. So if you can physically do it, yeah, something like that. Now, obviously, the warp 4 lane is not fitting correct, but you get what I'm saying. It doesn't become locked in position until all those warplanes are come out on the board, and then once those come out, then you can no longer move the planets around and stuff like that. But it's a really unique way. You can actually block people off, or block planets off,
right?
From if you can somehow explore that quickly from your enemies, or maybe your friends. I don't know, but they start all unexplored, and then kind of goes from there. It's a really cool system. Again, like Abe said, it's similar to the Twilight Imperium kind of a hex thing, but yeah, it's neat that you can block people out like that.
Yeah.
So, Abe, do you have some of those unlocked or
yeah? So we got
opened up here.
Just to start off, we got the trade agreements. So each faction actually gets 3 trade agreements.
Yep.
I'm not entirely certain if these are if you use it to sign the trade agreement with somebody else, or if it's or they use it to sign with you, if that makes sense. But they're all 1 production, 2 production, and 3 production. So
right.
That's a pretty basic card. You somehow 2 factions sign a trade agreement and start getting production out of that.
Yeah. So you're gonna trade with the other guys. You know, if I say, Abe, well, I'm in the Federation, I'll give you the 2 for your 3.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would say yes or no to those, but those are different trade agreements, and they give you extra ones. I'm assuming for when there's more players.
More, yeah.
So
well, they're all different. I mean, it's 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah. And again, the rules will go over most of that stuff anyway.
We've actually got 2. I don't know why this came in 2 decks, but there's 2 decks of exploration cards.
It's probably just packing.
Yeah, probably just packing. So I think they're all the same.
But these are different events that can happen.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones, and they happen when you go explore new planets.
You can run into Q. Mm-hmm. A lot of these are going to be from the TV shows and stuff like that. These are all Crisis ones. These are Discovery ones. Let's see here, the Traveler, Gamma Quadrant, Artifact Dealer, different things. Oh, that's cool. I remember that show. I don't remember that one. Binary Technologies. Civilizations you can encounter on planets. These are kind of a big deal. Pre-warp ones, warp-capable ones, where no one has gone before. Untouched planets.
Yeah, untouched planets.
Crisis ones. So those are all really old-school shows. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a big Star Trek fan, the trip down the
amusement park. Oh yeah, go McCoy, go! All right. So you can see where we're going with it. But those are all different exploration things that can happen to you. So
we've got turn order cards. You'll notice that they're 1 through 10.
Yep.
I don't know exactly how these work. I assume you bid on the turn order or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's for
again,
when you have more players.
For the more players, yeah. So you can see they want to go up to 10.
So far.
Yeah, these are technology advancements for the 3 different races.
So you've got all the Federation advances, Romulan, and these are all going to be slightly different versions. Disruptor tech for the Klingons is, different from the Romulans. They probably have a disruptor thing, Romulan disruptors. So they might be similar in gameplay wise, but the tech trees are all slightly different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then there's one more card. I think one more thing to show off, which are the
got it right here.
the cheat sheets,
They're cheat sheets, and they're actually also fleets.
Okay.
So there's two different things in here.
The Federation has like advanced lasers, some phasers.
Lasers.
All right, so what do you got?
All right, so you've got cheat sheets for each race.
Yep.
Which will kind of explain the building phase, and then the others they're double-sided.
Yeah. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
the command phase, there's the building phase, how that all works. Yep. And we'll show off the rules. We're not going to go over how to play them. We actually do have a demo from the guys at Gale Force 9 we'll show off. That's coming out later. So, what are the other fleet cards?
So these are fleet cards. So each race can build fleets, and you'll see on the models that they're actually represented. You
Okay.
can build different types of fleets.
Oh.
So, for instance, the Federation can build a science fleet. It can put 4 of its ships together, up to 4 ships, to form a science fleet.
Okay.
And then that gives you bonuses when you're doing hazards and sciencey things. You can do a colonization fleet or a diplomatic fleet to go do colonization diplomacy. And then they can also build battle groups. So this is when they're going to war, obviously. They can
And these have a static bonus. It looks
Yep.
like reroll to hit rolls of 1. in space
and
battles.
you can put 6 Federation ships into a battle group.
Yep.
So they're actually going to be different between the different races, though.
And these are all like, I think there's Galaxy class, which are all the Enterprise ships
Yeah.
from Next Gen.
So they've got
Romulans
the Romulans here have a mining fleet,
Okay.
a battle group, and a science fleet. They don't have an exploration or diplomacy or
And
colonization.
these just flip over.
These just flip over. So I think that's just an ability to build a really big fleet, but with no special ability to it.
Okay.
So the Federation battle group is 6 ships with a special ability.
This one they can only have one battle
They
group.
can only have one battle group, but they can build big fleets.
Ah.
And then Cleons have, obviously, they have Marauders
Yeah.
to go raid people. They have a battle group, same
Sure.
as everyone else's battle group. They have an assault fleet, which is for taking planetary invasions.
Okay.
And then they've got 3 generic fleets, but they are 10 ships instead of...
Oh wow, yeah. If you
Yeah.
looked at the Romulans, I was like, they have a lot of ships. They
Yeah.
actually have one more
they
ship.
have even more ships.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the Cleon advantage.
Yep.
Yep. And then finally, we're gonna look at the models real quick. If you want to take all of the Cleons, and then we've got Romulans here, and we'll just open up.
So these are resources, these
Yep.
3. You put each planet ship, like pick up Earth
Yep.
for a second. Earth's got the markers here. It's got culture, which is yellow, research, which is blue, and production, which is red. And you can see you're supposed to put 1 on each
Yep.
place.
And I think that's pretty much standard for
the
all
home worlds, I think.
Capella here has 2 production, so 2 red and 1 culture.
Mhm.
You can see the 2 red and 1 culture there. So
Yeah,
that's
so
how
you've
it
got
goes.
a marker to kind of visually easily show what resources the planet
Yep.
has. That's that. And if we look at we got the Federation over there.
Wow, there's a lot. There's actually a lot of ships in here.
Yeah.
So
Because you can build those big fleets, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can also, I think, have just lone ships off on
here's like fleet 2.
Right. So you can only have up to 3 fleets at a time. And you'll notice they're basically a bigger version of your normal ship with 2 or 3 or 1 on the bottom. And then when you have the cards, you can put the little ships on the card to represent what's in that fleet and just easily move them around like that. Cleons
Oh, I see what they did. Yeah.
yeah. So Cleons are the same way. Romulans are the same as that, too.
And then if you just want to have solo ships flying
Yeah.
around with no bonuses.
Yeah, so I think at the beginning of the game you've got little solo ships going out on scout missions, checking out the warp zones.
Okay.
The warp lanes, sorry, and then eventually you start forming them into fleets for...
Actually, if you see here, if you can hand me the production thing real quick.
Yeah.
These kind of go in the middle there.
Yeah, those are your colony
Yeah.
marker.
And then you can kind of see, if you wanted to, you could take these out here and I'd say, oh, now I've got that production going. And they fit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to pay something to get the production going or just building the colony. And I guess that's the capital or some special ability.
Yeah.
That's the...
Oh, these right here.
Well, this right here, right? That's the capital, isn't it?
I think so. Well, there's...
Or... Oh, no, these are the sliders. For
your car. They go like here.
I thought that looked like the.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Building.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, okay.
I was like, what are those? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how those work.
Yeah.
And then the Cleon, same deal.
Cleon's the same deal. They're planets. They're actually they're colonies. The colonies all look the same. They're just different colors.
Yeah.
There's very slight differences.
Yeah, the Federation one versus the Romulan one, you can kind of see here.
The Romulan one's more rounded.
Yeah, it's got a little bit less angles on it. It's definitely rounder, curved, I guess. So.
And the Cleon and the Federation one is real similar.
Yeah, those are pretty close.
Yeah. But that's fine. The color's what's important. Really.
Yeah. You want to be able to see the ships, and of course, you got Romulan birds of prey, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ships of all time.
The big one here.
And the big ones, yeah. Only because they could cloak. And I remember when I was a wee lad, they had a Romulan bird of prey toy that you basically held like a phaser and it would make pew 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 sounds.
Right.
So I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So there's the big one.
Yep.
So yeah, not like a ton of tokens, but a good amount. A
I
lot
mean,
of good models.
overall, there's a lot of tokens. There's a ton of ships. You
Yeah.
can have quite a few ships exploring and stuff like that. So, pretty cool stuff. We're gonna pause real quick, clean up, and then we'll flip through the rulebook real fast. All right, here's the rulebook real quick. We're gonna go through this one pretty quick. All the different components and stuff for the game kind of breaks it down for you. It shows you how to do all that stuff. Game setup, your command console. We talked about that. That's the unique one for each race and stuff like that. Home systems, how those work. Advancement decks. We talked about those. System disks. Again, those are the random planets you discover.
Yeah, and some of them aren't planets. Also, just to point out, you can get warp phenomena and
True that.
nebulas and stuff too.
And I think in the future expansions too, they'll probably have more planets. They gotta at least have the one home planet. So your deck of cards will actually of planets will actually.
I would imagine they'll this breaks down into thirds, and that's how much each race will have, so that you keep the number of planets per player even.
Would make sense. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, so interesting. You kind of got your setup here. This is how you set up the game. This is what's really cool. It's really easy. You just grab all of your stuff.
Lay it all out for yourself.
Yeah, for yourself, and then you put your home planet down.
Yep.
Put the stuff on it.
And as big as your table is, they recommend home systems about 5 inches from the edge of whatever table you're playing on. Whether it's a 4x4, 6x4, whatever.
Right.
And then you want to start at least 18 inches away. This one, with 3 players, they recommend 3x3.
Yeah.
So,
the big thing is that they need to be equally spaced apart for the warplanes to ride. So if you want, I suppose if you wanted to do more than 18 inches or less, you could, but you would want to make sure it's equal. But that's it. You grab your stuff, put your home system down, and you're ready to start. So that's a really good selling point to me. Is that it's a quick start, quick playing. You're doing stuff right away. Because there are some great games that have long startups, but sometimes it's annoying when you know, like, let's play this game. All right, an hour and a half later,
and now we gotta go get lunch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start doing my thing, or then someone has to go, and you're like, oh, we just wasted an hour and a half.
Yep.
So
there's a couple of different ways to win, which is important. The Ascendancy victory. At the end of a game round, if you control a home system and have 5 Ascendancy tokens, you win, and that's establishing cultural dominance or whatever.
Right.
Supremacy victory is controlling 3 home systems, so it's kind of the military victory. Tied victories at the end of the round, if 2 players have achieved a victory through Ascendancy or Supremacy, the player who controls the most systems win. If there's a tie, both civilizations are pretty much awesome.
Right, yeah. So I mean, you can kind of see the Ascendancy victory is probably what the Federation's going for. Supremacy is a little more what the Cleons might go for.
And I think the Romulans could probably do a mix of both.
Right. They have some abilities for both of them.
Yep. So this is how the trade agreements are. Again, we're not going to get into gameplay, game rules, stuff like that. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that, but you can see here everything's laid out, pretty easy to follow. Explains the movement. Excuse me. Explains the movement. System hazards, the rules for placing stuff. Again, floating systems can move around.
Right.
So that's the cool thing about it. If you want to establish a warp lane from one system to another, if there's an empty space on it, you can do that as long as things reach.
I think the thing that's interesting is you actually have like a difference between impulse and warp drives. So your fleets can kind of slowly move around ready for battle, or they can warp between planets, but then they can't fight as well.
Right.
Or intercept people going between them.
Yeah, which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a ton of stuff in there. I'm not gonna. Planetary Invasion goes through all that, but you get the gist of it. Oh, the face palm.
Of course.
So optional rules. If you want to add some more rules, you can do that.
Yeah.
And it does go through a sample first turn
So,
just to show you how the game plays.
It's got a really easy setup. It's maybe not the most
Yep.
simplest game. You know, this is an in-depth game. If you like a good in-depth,
It's a good strategy game.
yeah, 2-3 hours, some deep strategy.
Yeah.
This is a great game for that.
Yeah, I think this is perfect for like a Saturday.
Yeah,
A Saturday
absolutely.
afternoon playing with some buds. Maybe putting some Star Trek on in the background. Whatever.
Yeah. It says it should take about
An
1
hour
hour
per
player.
Yep.
So obviously, if you
Minimum 2 players.
yeah, obviously, if you got up to a 10-player game, that would be pretty intense.
I think if you got some experience in your belt, the games would actually go a little bit faster than that. But
most games tend to. So
yeah. But it seems like a really cool game. I'm excited to give it a try here. But that is Star Trek Ascendancy, again from Gale Force 9, one of the new games. Keep an eye out for it. I don't know if it's in stores quite yet. We got an early copy at Gen Con. I'm sure it's going to be shipping soon. So, but yeah, I'm AdamHarry from BoLS.
And I'm StableAbe.
Thanks again for watching. Have a good one.